So we have a very communication-oriented day going on today. We have our moon transiting into the sign of Gemini, ruled by Mercury, ruling thoughts, ideas, news, information, communication. Could be a lot of messaging coming through today. That moon in Gemini is also going to be making a positive aspect to Venus and Mars in Aquarius. So this could also be bringing solutions in terms of maybe some relationship issues that we've been navigating. Also, though, the moon moving into Gemini means it is going to be triggering and activating the black moon, which is currently in Gemini right now. This is likely to be a heavier vibration, bringing up some fears, some shadows, some insecurities, some worries, some doubts for us to gain a conscious awareness of and actually be able to break ourselves free from as we're navigating this energy over the next couple days. So let's jump into the report, you guys. Let's talk all about the energy for today. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today is Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. Honestly, not a tremendous amount of big time activations or aspects going on today. We are kind of in a little bit of a universal break in terms of the levels of intensity being turned all the way up, as we have been experiencing as of late. But we are also in this very unusual period of time right now energetically where we are really like in limbo, in between. At the midpoint, actually, our sun is in between Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces right now, which are building into a conjunction over this next few weeks. And this activation is really going to represent a huge blast of truth and awareness along some spiritual lines, some very profound conscious awakening to some real spiritual truths, really like blowing the lid off of a lot of things that may have been suppressed or hidden or kept from us over throughout the course of actually the Pisces paradigm, long periods of time, going back into perhaps the ancient past, really some spiritual truths and some things that we really need to know at this point in time to help us navigate our course going forward. Coming in terms of this conscious awareness, this expanded sense of spiritual truth being just an outcome of the interaction of these planets in these signs building over this next few weeks. And right now we have the sun as the midpoint in between those two planets. We're sort of like in this dreamland, hovering in between like illusion and fantasy and reality and like extreme unavoidable truth that is coming. Very dreamy energy that we're in right now as well. Anyways, that was a strange like interlude to begin this report today. I don't know if you guys just heard that or not. There is this random toy, and it's this like, it makes the sound of a chicken, like bok bok, like a chicken balking or, you know, doing what they do. And it goes off at like the most random times. I think it came with this farm set that I got my kids like a million years ago, and I can never find it. And I don't know how to turn it off. And it will literally just like make the bok bok sound at any point in time. And like, I don't know where it's coming from, and then I won't hear from it for a while. But anyways, it just randomly did that as I was saying that. So, let's talk about the aspects we have going on for today, you guys. I guess the reason why I started saying that is because I was meaning to talk about that as I get through into this report, because it's such a strong emphasis right now. But I guess I just felt like I needed to start by talking about that as well. But I'll talk about it again later in the report. But let's talk about that Gemini moon for a minute. So we do have a Gemini moon today. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. When we have a moon in Gemini, this can be a more busy time of month where we are like, we got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to a lot of places. We're talking to a lot of people. We got a lot of interactions going on, a lot of interpersonal stuff, communication, transactions, back and forth, movement, short distance travel. Gemini also rules younger siblings. You may hear from a younger sibling at this point in time as well. But this is just Gemini moon generally can make us more communicative. However, today we have the moon in Gemini, early degrees of Gemini, and we also right now have Venus and Mars in a conjunction in the early degrees of Aquarius, 3 degrees of Aquarius to be exact. So This is telling me, and Aquarius and Gemini, these are both air signs. They form a trine aspect, 120-degree aspect to each other. These aspects facilitate things, and things have a tendency of sort of just like falling into place when we have trines operating in our energetics. And so with our Gemini moon today, making this aspect, as I said in the beginning, this could bring, especially with Venus and Mars in the sign of Aquarius, this could be bringing some spontaneous information or messages or communication, overhearing something, learning something like sort of unexpected that provides a solution somehow in terms of navigating some type of relationship dynamic that we may have been struggling with, or that actually leads us to creating. This is also energy that could really, really be bringing in and facilitating some conversations with some very special connections that might be coming in at this point in time. We are in a period of time right now that is really universe trying to bring us into contact with like our soul tribe, like our soulmate connections, like these divine unions, like the people that are really truly resonating with us on a soul level, that can really, like, these connections can really lead to like some type of genuine success, fulfillment, and growth, like in terms of our soul. That is what this 2022 year is trying to bring us in terms of relationship connections specifically. And with the moon in Gemini today, making this trine to Venus and Mars, like I said, there could either be solutions coming in via information somehow that is helping us to navigate a relationship issue that we may have been struggling with, or on the flip side of that, this could be conversation being facilitated today by these more like soulmate connections. Like this could be energy that is very much so facilitating these connections. And also Gemini. We're talking about Gemini. This is the sign of the twins. This is the sign of, the lovers, pairs, couples. Duplicities. Also, this also rules polarities. When Gemini is operating effect, especially when we have the black moon in Gemini, there is a very, very strong sense of polarity going on right now. But we are in that energy very strong right now anyways. We're in this 222, well, I guess we're not technically in our 222 month anymore. We're in March now, and we're in the new moon in Pisces now. But we had Venus and Mars in a conjunction with Pluto for our new moon in Pisces. And this really is all about this dynamic change going on in relationship, death and rebirth in relationship in terms of our own internal value, our own self-worth, our own sense of self-empowerment, our own willpower, and what we are passionate about, what we desire about, what we want to pursue and create and like fertilize and conceive and birth going forward, now that we have Venus and Mars in Aquarius as well towards our future in terms of our future direction. And this energy today with this Gemini moon could definitely be facilitating some of these, both these solutions coming through that, or these conversations that we have. Perhaps we've had to make a difficult choice about something recently, and there's a conversation, a hard conversation, a difficult conversation with the black moon in Gemini as well, maybe that we need to have in regards to relationships. But the polarity of that, the duplicity of that, the flip side of that is that this energy could also very much represent these like synchronistic conversations and alignments coming into place, bringing people together, bringing divinely aligned souls, magnetizing them together in this energy very, very much with the moon in Gemini. Again, the sign ruling the lovers in the tarot, and also just couples, pairs, partners, forming the trine to Venus and Mars together in the sign of Aquarius. But one thing we know for sure with them being Venus and Mars in the sign of Aquarius is this information that is coming through. It is definitely benefiting our future path somehow. It is definitely supporting the trine, the trajectory of the future that we are wanting to move in at this point in time. So this is a positive aspect that we have going on today, very much so in the midst of this black moon energy that we also have very present. Now, let's talk about the black moon for a second. This, rules our shadow side, our subconscious programming, the parts and the aspects of ourselves that we don't see and that we don't perceive, that really a lot of times motivate our behavior. What we don't recognize is actually like the invisible hand that is controlling our actions, our motives, our thoughts, our feelings, and stuff like that, because it's like the subconscious programming. It's like these learned behaviors and mechanisms based on a lot of these fears and these insecurities and these unhealed traumas, these unhealed wounds that cause us to have these complexes, that cause us to act out in various ways, that cause us to therefore attract certain experiences and certain relationship dynamics into our lives. But it's all happening for the point and for the purpose of showing us our own issues, essentially, so that we can gain this conscious awareness, especially in the sign of Gemini, to heal, to crack through, to integrate, to overcome, to transcend, and to regain the power of our own psyche, of our own consciousness, so that we are no longer like subconsciously operating via this algorithm that's running in the background that we're not even aware is necessarily there most of the time. And this past year, especially this past couple of years with the North Node and the South Node, when they were transiting Gemini and Sagittarius for the period of time that we also had the Black Moon in Gemini, we've been doing a lot with our shadow side issues and with gaining this conscious awareness and letting go of a lot of these belief systems from the past that have been keeping us in these self-sabotaging thought loops, essentially. But we are still, even though the nodes have shifted now to Taurus and Scorpio and we are on to a new lesson plan, we still have this Black Moon in Gemini that is really asking us to gain this conscious awareness of our own shadows so that we can crack through this algorithm and really regain control of our conscious minds. Because moving into the age of Aquarius, this air age, this air paradigm, the age of an age of information being the new currency, the age of self-knowledge, the age of self-mastery, the age of self-empowerment. We can't do that if we have these shadow side algorithms, subconscious programming that we are unaware of, that is pulling down our vibration and preventing us from being able to magnetize, manifest, attract, and create what we truly desire, want, and what would bring us fulfillment in this lifetime. We can't do that if we don't have these shadow side issues cleared up. So that is a lot of what is happening with the Black Moon in Gemini right now, transits to the Black Moon in Gemini right now. And like I said, with what we have going on today with the Moon in Gemini, making the trine to Venus and Mars in the sign of Aquarius, this could be sparking some conversations that are bringing up fears or bringing up insecurities or worries or doubts in some type of way. But if that is happening, it is to show us where our hangups are, what we still need to crack open, what we still need to get to the root of, what we still need to integrate, to purge, to purify, to release, to heal. All of this that has been going on with Pluto as well. Venus and Mars and the conjunction to Pluto, that was a major purge of the heart space and the energy body as well. Purification, renewal, rebirth. We are like phoenixes rising out of the ashes right now. And this is required very, very much so in terms of our psyche and our consciousness. And when we have a moon transiting Gemini and transiting Sagittarius these days, while the Black Moon is in the sign of Gemini, that is just what is on the table. And it's interesting because I didn't even mean to say that just then, but we actually have the sun today at 20 degrees of Pisces, and the Sabian symbol of that degree is a table set for an evening meal. So I guess, the plans are being made, the table is being set, everything is being prepared and laid out, and what is on the table over this next couple of days with this Black Moon energy is us continuing to gain this conscious awareness of what is holding us back and what is still limiting our mind and our consciousness from truly being able to expand in alignment with all of these new opportunities that are trying to present themselves, all of this magnetic energy that is trying to magnetize itself to us and bring us fulfillment, if only we can overcome our own psychic demons, essentially, and break ourselves free of these negative thought patterns, this subconscious programming. And that is what is coming up when we are in this Black Moon energy. Another thing that we do want to remember when we have the Black Moon being activated with this Gemini Moon today, people are likely to be acting real ugly. There may be, it's not just our own Black Moon issues that are surfacing. And with the Moon in Gemini, people are speaking their feelings. When we have a Gemini moon going on, we don't really hold back much in terms of the way that we're feeling. And when that black moon is activated, people in their fears, their insecurities, their doubts, there may be a lot of just like real ugly conversations, speech, fights, arguments, like people projecting, not being their best self, cognitive dissonance, placing their own issues on you. These could definitely be features of this energy that we have going on today, even though we do have this nice aspect with the moon and Venus and Mercury. Because of the black moon in Gemini, because of the nature of the moon in Gemini, we do not want to be attaching today to other people's negative attitudes about things or life or us or literally anything. People, are going to be likely just in a more negative mental space today, and they can, that is their issue. That is life and universe trying to show them their own issues, just as like we're talking about, just as like what's happening with us. But it depends. Can we gain a conscious awareness? Can they gain a conscious awareness, or are they just going to project and try to use other people or situations to avoid having to face their own issues? Is sort of a dimension and aspect of this energy. So I really overall though love the energy of today, despite the black mooniness of it. This, black moon, this can definitely bring a heavier vibe, definitely more depressing energy, definitely more having us in the shadows. That's what it does. But I really do feel like this moon in Gemini, again, the sign of the twins, forming the trine to Venus and Mars in Aquarius, in the sign heading towards the future, moving forward. And again, both of them now in their rectified and empowered states, an empowered and purified heart space, an empowered and purified energy body, intertwined, integrated, working together. And, this is as above, so below. The frequencies that, Venus and Mars are together transiting in the sky, but this also correlates to what is happening with the energetic frequencies that they represent within us. And this is leading to this state of self-empowerment over this next, few weeks as this transit of Aquarius between Venus and Mars unfolds, and Venus will eventually take the lead and begin to move ahead. But for now, as they continue to transit together, they're also today at the degree 3 Aquarius, in their transit of Aquarius together. And that Sabian symbol is a deserter of the Navy stands suddenly aware of a dawning truth. Freedom is never the result of compromise. There is this revolutionary spirit. It's crazy because this happened at the degree where Pluto return of the United States, 28 degrees of Capricorn, where Pluto, Mars, and Venus made their conjunction on the 2nd of March. Venus and Mars and Pluto having come together at that degree of the U.S. Pluto return. And now we have them together at this degree, talking about freedom never being the result of compromise. I just, and it's not just because of these degrees, but it's really speaking to the fact of this rebirth of this just a revolutionary spirit, this empowered human spirit, this heart in combination with the will that is just being reignited. And we are realizing, like, we're just waking up individually on a collective level, yes, but it happens first with the individual, and it's happening in correspondence with this process. And it's just really beautiful and amazing to watch unfold because, you see it, we talked about it, we've been talking about it for a while, but to see how this is actually playing out now and the impact that it's likely to lead to in terms of the physical manifestations in the collective going forward, we really are, like, it really is true that we are creating this new age, and it is from this place, it is from this, like, point of this purified and re-empowered heart, purified and re-empowered will, working together, divine feminine, divine masculine, breaking ourselves out of the toxic, limiting attachments of the past, slaying our own demons, opening ourselves up to this truth and this faith that is coming into. Like I started with in the beginning, the sun is the midpoint right now between Jupiter and Neptune in this building beautiful conjunction of Pisces, which is really trying to bring us this spiritual truth, this massive spiritual enlightenment. that helps us understand much better how to navigate with this incoming paradigm and these new energies and the trajectory to take going forward and what's real and what's not. And we have the sun right now, almost the exact today and tomorrow, acting as the midpoint in between these two planets. Again, in the sign of Pisces, this is such a very dreamy energy where we really truly can bring our dreams into reality, and their ability to carry far into the future with Saturn in Aquarius right now, Venus and Mars in Aquarius, Mercury also in Aquarius, preparing to move into Pisces though. Tomorrow, Mercury is at the last degree of Aquarius. Today, that Sabian symbol is the fields of moonlit fields, once Babylon, are now blooming white. Again, this degree to me is talking about a rectification of something as well, an inversion of something brought back to its natural and organic place of purity and wholeness, which is where we're at with Mars and Venus right now, which is where we're at with the combined power of this heart and this will, and also in this awakening with Jupiter and the spiritual truths and all of this Aquarius energy trying to show us the truth of our potential and, who we really are, the North Node in Taurus, the resources that we hold inside that are just waiting to be tapped and creatively utilized to bring an actual, tangible, physical sense of stability, financial abundance, or material success, or just comfort into our lives in one way or another. And that is what this period in time is asking us right now too, with the South Node in Scorpio, the North Node in Taurus. We are likely on the brink of some very collective economic changes. Paradigm shifting changes, one might say. And it's likely to have a very strong ripple effect that might change our level of comfort and just the way that we are used to dealing with and relating to society generally over this next year and a half. And it really does behoove all of us at this point in time to do our best to really figure out how we can be, just in small ways, even more self-reliant, more self-sufficient, not so much reliant upon every aspect of society to provide our needs for us. And with the North Node in Taurus, we are being asked to cultivate the resources within us to provide stability externally for ourselves that can translate into abundance and material success and comfort and luxury and pleasure and beauty, all of these Taurus, Venus oriented things. So interesting times, you guys. I do like the energy for today. I love this trine that we have set up in Gemini, early Gemini, between Venus and Mars. We've got couplings being referenced very much so by the energetics. There could definitely be some divine unions coming into place today, some very random or surprising interactions or conversations happening today that are very special in one way or another and feel like that they are divinely aligned. Again, this also could be providing those solutions. And that black moon energy, you guys, it just is what it is. It is difficult. It can bring up, our biggest, the things that we don't want to deal with, but it's only to show us where they're stemming from so that we can actually shift our own vibration. And that is actually what gets us out of those messes anyways. The more that, what you resist persists. There's so many spiritual laws that go into it, but ultimately, gaining the awareness and then shifting our vibration is a lot of times the solution to our problems when it comes to these shadow side issues and these karmic situations that we're dealing with. We're in very fated and karmic energy right now as well. So I guess that's basically what I have to say about the energy today. We also have the Earth today at 20 degrees of Virgo. That Sabian symbol is a caravan of cars headed for the promised lands. So, we are headed in the right direction, you guys, and we are going there together. We are making these vibrational shifts, and we are headed for the promised lands. We are making this shift of the ages happen. We are making this paradigm shift happen, and it is leading to these promised lands, but it's just a journey to get there is all, and we might be a little bit of a slow ride just because we have some work to do along the way, but we've been doing the work. And so yeah, I guess that's what I have for the energy for today for the astrology. Now let's talk about the tarot cards for a quick minute. Tarot time, everybody. Let's see what we have. Let's see what universe gave us today for some symbolism to clarify what's going on with the collective energy. And honestly, you guys, I feel like this is kind of like a variation of the same message that we get like over and over a lot of times. But we'll see. Okay. So the first card that came out of the deck this morning, shuffling, asking God, Spirit, Universe, please clarify the collective energy right now. Let me get some symbolism to help me understand how we are dealing with all of these aspects that we have going on right now. Although I guess we don't have that many aspects going on. I really do like this Moon in Gemini and the Trine today. We'll see how that goes. I'm really hoping that some good things come through for some of you guys. But anyways, the first card that came out was Death in Reverse. So this is about like resisting some type of necessary change. The second card that came out is the Four of Pentacles. This is about like really holding tightly on to something. And, you know, at this point in time right now, these two cards together, this is not really so much what we want to be doing, holding on tight to a fear of change. That's really kind of what this is saying, like resisting the changes at hand and really just sort of holding on to what gives us that comfort and security. But and then, you know, we got the Three of Cups in reverse. And then on the back of the deck, we had the Queen of Wands in reverse. We had the Queen of Wands come out yesterday too. So something that happened, I don't know, maybe over the course of between yesterday and today, we did have that South Node energy going on yesterday with the Moon in opposition to the South Node, really having us perhaps like feeling attached to some of the things from the past that were giving us the sense of comfort. But anyways, the message is today, basically, you know, we really need to be careful of holding on so tight to what makes us feel comfortable and secure, that we are resisting the changes that need to happen right now, because what that is actually doing is preventing us from being able to come into contact with these unions that need to take place, these joyful reunions that can lead to this celebration, this abundance, this fulfillment, this happiness, this ability to just be more carefree and to enjoy life, to celebrate. Basically, it's like whatever we're holding on to, and with the Queen of Wands in reverse as well, it's keeping us out of our power. There is the message today coming from the tarot cards is we need to be very careful of what we are gripping and holding on to at this point in time, especially if it is preventing our growth, our evolution, our transformation, our progress in some type of a way, because that by holding on like that, even though we may feel like it's providing us a sense of stability or comfort, especially in terms of finances and stuff that we really need, what it's actually doing is keeping us out of a place where we can come together and like get our vibration to the actual point that we need to actually manifest. So, you know, we may feel like by holding on to this thing and resisting these changes, we're actually like protecting ourselves in some type of a way. That's sort of what it boils down to. But really what it's doing is keeping us out, or keeping us from being able to attract to ourselves the opportunities and the connections that actually will help put us back into our power and be able to gain even more. You know, we're talking about a Four of Pentacles right here. Like, this guy's only got four. This is the Queen of Wands, okay? Like, there's not really a comparison in terms of who has more, like, and who's got more power and who's got more security in the situation. This guy doesn't have very much. The Four of Pentacles, he clearly doesn't feel very secure at all, because he feels like he really, really has to grab onto it. This Queen of Wands, she is feeling very much empowered and very secure in her stance, and she's not, you know, having to hold or grip to anything. In fact, she's actually got her arms wide open, ready to embrace, because she's not, doesn't afraid of losing, and she's not vibrating to that. So essentially, you guys, what the message of the tarot really boils down to today is that we need to make sure that we are not resisting the changes that need to take place right now, that are underway right now, because we are trying to hold on to something out of a fear of lack. That is so much what this energy has been trying to teach us over this past couple weeks, is that we truly have what we need, the resources that we need inside of us, and we always have. We just need to align with our own internal value, cultivate that value, cultivate our resources, and figure out, what we can contribute, what we can serve that is in alignment with our authentic truth, our passion, our talents, our gifts, and, how we can cultivate that and use that to be a tangible resource to provide stability for us somehow, some way in our physical lives. And we don't get there by holding on very, very tightly to the things that we're afraid, the material things, pentacles, that we're afraid of losing out of a sense of lack. That is just actually energetically, vibrationally acknowledging and actually expanding upon the lack vibration that is the reason for that feeling in that state in the first place. So that's the message of the cards today, of the tarot cards today, you guys. We need to surrender to the changes, because that is what is going to bring us these connections and these opportunities that are going to put us back into our power and give us the ability to actually attract much, 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 much more abundance than those 4 little pentacles that we're trying to grab onto right now. So that's that. Let's talk about the synchronicity card. Let's grab a synchronicity card for us today, you guys. These cards are wonderful little cards. They are messages from God, just to give us a little bit more inspiration or just a little bit of extra advice as we are navigating the energies. They are by Janice Shellman, and they have like a very magical way of being extremely on point. Oh, there's one. When it comes to the energy, I feel like I just drew this one very recently. Okay, it says, bless them and walk on. This is the message that God wants us to know as we are navigating our path today. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down in the innermost parts of the belly. Proverbs 22:6. You can see through the darkness of another's mind. You are not responsible for their negative thinking, and you cannot change their mind. Do not get involved, bless them, and walk on. And you guys, this is really beautiful. This is a really, really great message, actually. People are likely to be very, very much caught up in some negative thinking today and some negative projecting and, putting their negative ideas and views and energy onto other people, perhaps as a way of coping. Cognitive dissonance could also be very strong in this energy today. So yeah, not attaching to other people's negative perceptions of us is going to be a very, very beneficial tool of navigating this energy today. And I am very grateful for this card, because this is definitely something we need to remember. So bless them and walk on. Bless them and walk on. You are not responsible for their negative thinking, and you cannot change their mind. So that's what we got today, you guys. That is what we have from the messages from the stars. That's what we have from the messages from the cards. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I was able to provide something for you today that can give you a little bit of whatever you need to navigate your day and your life better. If you like this video, guys, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you think they would be interested, please. And leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments. I love your feedback. I love reading what you have to say. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, an Instagram, a TikTok, and a website if anyone is interested in any of that. And come back with me tomorrow because, those are in the description box below. And come back with me tomorrow because we are going to have a lot more astrology to talk about, more Black Moon energy for sure. We're going to have the moon in a trine to Saturn, Mercury entering Pisces. We got stuff to talk about, so you don't want to miss it. And I will see you then. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Bye-bye.